Washington State University volleyball team has gotten the home portion of the season underway. That happened last night when they ended up with a sweep over California Baptist. Earlier this afternoon at Bowler Gymnasium in Pullman, the Washington State University Cougars finished off the Belmont Bruins in 4 sets. Now they'll try and make it a perfect 3-0 as they get ready to take on Cal State Bakersfield. Steve Grubbs coming to you from Bowler Gymnasium as we get you ready for Pac-12 volleyball. Well, yesterday the Washington State University Cougars were taking on California Baptist, and for the Cougs, they were able to finish it off on match point and get it done in 3 straight. That improved their mark to 3-1 on the season and 1-0 this weekend at the Cougar Challenge. Meanwhile, for the Washington State University Cougars, since they got the day off to a good start, they would have a great contribution from not only Katie Ryan, who got to double digits, but they were led by Laura Janssen, who had 13 kills. Pia Timmer and Jasmine Martin strong matches as well, as setter Argentina Ung did a good job of distributing the offense to all different Cougs. Meanwhile, earlier this afternoon, Washington State took on Belmont. The Cougars dominated the first set before Belmont came back to win set number 2, but the Cougars finished off winning sets 3 and 4, and they ended up taking down the Belmont Bruins to improve to not only 2-0 at the tournament, but now 4-1 on the season, as the Cougars had a statistically pretty good day. How about Carly Basham tying a school record with 7 aces? They had 12 as a team, and another pretty efficient day for the Cougars offensively. And again, for the Cougars, once again led by Laura Janssen and Katie Ryan. They had 13 kills apiece. Now tonight, we get ready for what will be the third and final match of the Cougar Challenge for the Washington State University Cougars as they try and improve their overall mark to 5-1. They get ready to take on Cal State Bakersfield, the Roadrunners, and the Cougars. It's coming up next on Pac-12 Insider. Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Bowler Gymnasium in Pullman, Washington, as we get ready for the final match of the weekend for the Washington State University Cougars as they get ready to take on the Roadrunners of Cal State Bakersfield. As we're welcoming you back just in time for the starting lineups, the Cougars so far here at this tournament, 2-0, a win over California Baptist last night, and then earlier this afternoon, it was a nice win over the Belmont Bruins. The Cougars getting that done in 4 sets and 4 Washington States. They were able to get it done and do a good job over Belmont, and even had some historical things happen in that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Carly Basham with 7 aces, tying a team record there. Just an incredible serving performance from her. And then as well as Katie Ryan and Laura Janssen, both with 13 kills, both with the highest amount for the entire match, tied each other, some great plays. And then as well, you can probably talk more about just the legacy of this, but Halashava was able to pass Coach Greeny in total block assists with 361, putting her into 4th all-time.
Yeah, speaking of that, it's so interesting because I talk to Jen all the time. You know, you keep recruiting these superstars and your name's going to keep going farther and farther down the list. She says, I think I can live with that. After all, again, last weekend picked up her 300th collegiate coaching win, and Magda did pass her all-time in block assists, so Magda now 7th all-time in block assists. She is closing in on Jocelyn Urias, Marcelina Glab, and also Taylor Mims for 4th all-time. She's already 4th all-time in total blocks. As again, Washington State 2-1 last weekend in Provo, did okay. And then, obviously, as we work our way through the non-conference portion of the season, this was a big weekend for Washington State. Chance to play at home for the first time this season, chance to play at home for the first time, and then for a long time, because they're not back here until October, they really wanted to have some confidence and get some matches under their belt too.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at the schedule, they got 9 games after this game against CSU Bakersfield tonight until they're back here against Oregon, like you said, in October. So picking up 2 quick wins after that, trying to bounce back from that loss against BYU. Going to look for 1 more against Bakersfield to wrap this up with 3-0. It's the Cougar Challenge. There is no tournament champion, but 3-0 would solidify them with the best record of this tournament.
Bakersfield so far 1-0 in the tournament. They got a win in 4 sets earlier over California Baptist, so their second match of this tournament. So again, 2 teams that have both playing 2 matches in a short amount of time. And as we get ready for this one, Cal State Bakersfield, a team that is trying to themselves pick off a big team. And whenever you're a team like Cal State Bakersfield or Belmont was early this afternoon. If you can put a win over a Power 5 opponent into your check mark for the season, that lifts you up for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a huge building block for the program. And like you said, they did play one other Pac-12 opponent, Arizona State, to start off their season. Lost in 3 sets there. But like you said, if you can go after a big Pac-12 school like Washington State, would just be a huge confidence booster for the rest as we get set to start here.
So Washington State out there, so too Cal State Bakersfield. Again, final match of the tournament for Washington State. Cal State Bakersfield, they'll come back tomorrow. They will battle Belmont in what will be the final matchup of the Cougar Challenge, a 3-day tournament. All told, 6 matches total, but Washington State, they're wrapping things up tonight. Of course, here on the Palouse, everybody gearing up for what is a big weekend. Obviously, the opening weekend of college football, the Battle of the Palouse. It's one of these nice weekends where everybody's kind of signifies this is the start of college athletics, and you're starting to see this with the fans that have filed in here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best attendances that I've seen so far. Definitely a lot of alumni coming back here for the first game this weekend for football. Found themselves in Bowler Gymnasium, so it's going to be excited to have the crowd in on this one.
All right, ready to get things underway. Argentina Ung is going to go back to serve for Washington State, and we are underway for the evening's match between the Cougars and Cal State Bakersfield. And how about that overpass taken care of by Jasmine Martin, and the Cougars off to a quick start.
Yeah, Jasmine Martin just jumping off the page with a 512 hit percentage on the season, which is really incredible. Gets one right there.
Yeah, came in and started to fill in for Shea Rubright last weekend in Provo, and has really not missed a beat after herself going through a big injury last season. So again, great to see her off to a great start. That was a great serve to get things started, then a service error, but that serve from Argentina is something that we saw a lot of from the Cougars in the opening match, because they had 12 aces earlier this match, earlier this tournament. All right, here comes the serve from Cal State Bakersfield. They'll set up for Martin, tries to put it away, but dug out by the Roadrunners. And now Washington State will deal it for Katie Ryan, who goes up the line. A good dig. Cal State Bakersfield able to keep it alive, and a free ball for Washington State. Now a free ball back over to the Roadrunners. They'll set to the middle, but a good dig by Basham. Now Timmer from the back row, and our longest point of the match so far unfolding as we've got a good rally going on. And there's Laura Janssen, and Laura Janssen has been really good this tournament. She picks up her first kill here tonight.
Yeah, 13 earlier today in that game against Belmont, and then just picks up her first one super early here in the first set. Seems like she's off to another hot start.
Laura, again, a grad transfer from Arkansas Little Rock, and we'll see what plays out the rest of this tournament, but so far has maybe had the play of a tournament MVP the way she has played so far this weekend in her first weekend in Pullman. Good serve there. Back to the right it will go, up the line. Good dig, it is over the net, and there to put it away is Cal State Bakersfield, and that is going to be Ava Palm who will pick up the kill, and she did a nice job of finishing that one off for the Roadrunners.
Ava Palm transferred in from UTEP this year. First season with the Roadrunners, making an impact here early.
Finished off that point to even it at 2 apiece. So Janssen on the serve, over the net, and then tipped across, but the Cougars able to get to it. And now to the outside it will go, up the line, and that's going to be another kill, and that's going to go this time to Ava Palm one more time. Or was that Ava, or was it not Ava?
I believe that was Haley McCluskey. Leads the team with kills with 43 on the season. Came in with a nice swing there.
You're right there. Was thinking for some reason it was number 10, which is Palm's number, but it was 18. How about that? A little excuse me over the net and down for Laura Janssen. Not often on a serve receive, will also pick up a kill on the dig, but Laura will do that there.
Yeah, you take those whenever you can get them.
So already a couple kills for her, and didn't have to take a big swing to pick that one up, and we're even at 3 apiece. And now Basham, who we mentioned had 7 aces earlier this afternoon, back to serve for the first time. Little deflection. Carly with the pass into the net, and then the Cougars can't get it out of the net, so a side out to Bakersfield.
Basham with just a really good serve technique there. Not hard to imagine that she gets rolling there. She can get a couple aces as we saw earlier today.
into her senior season, so you know she wants to finish off her career strong. There's a good serve. Argentina will set it up, a good block back, but the Cougars will cover it. And now Ryan over the net and down, and Katie Ryan, another Cougar player who's had a solid weekend for Washington State.
Yeah, absolutely. 393 hit percentage is what I have her tallied at going into this game. I don't know much about volleyball, but I know that that's really good. So that is impressive, and she picks up her first kill right there. Absolutely.
So again, with her to have that efficiency as well as to amass the amount of kills, it's now 4-4 as the serve from Julia Norval. To the outside for Cal State Bakersfield between a couple Cougars. And they will set it up, and now free ball back over to the runners. To the outside, a block back, but they will rule a net violation. They're going to call the net violation on Argentina Ung, so it'll be a point to Cal State Bakersfield. 5-4, just dipping our toes into this opening set here tonight. Again, third match of the weekend for Washington State, trying to sweep the Cougar Challenge after going 2-1 in Provo last weekend. Janssen will play that serve to the outside for Timmer, who lines one up. Played in the back by the Bakersfield runners, and then up the line and wide that time from Lizzie Bender, and the side out to Washington State.
Yeah, a lot of these sets from Cal State Bakersfield are going through Bender. She had 17 kills earlier today. Seems like they're running a lot of the offense through her.
Yeah, she had a big-time performance. It was a long four-setter between them and Cal Baptist. 3 of the sets went extra distance. All right, Ung will send it over the net, but there to play it will be the libero, and then once again it's Bender to send it over, and again the Cougars caught in the net. Again, it's Argentina, so on the side out, Cal State Bakersfield will get the point. 6-5 early on in favor of the Roadrunners.
Yeah, second net violation there quick by the Cougs, and Cal State finds themselves with the first lead of the day.
So now back to serve for them. It is going to be Laura Duprat. And now up the line will go Magda Halashava. Certainly known for her defense and her blocking, but she can get offensive at times too.
Yeah, absolutely. Preseason All Pac-12 there for Halashava, and you can see it right there.
Now her and Timmer bringing back that experience from the front row, and then when you add in the grad transfer, a lot of experience for the Cougars at the net. Meanwhile, speaking of experience, how about Bender? Not a lot of it at the collegiate level, but boy, the redshirt freshman from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, off to a great start in her career at Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a redshirt freshman, but 17 kills, like I said earlier, and 41 on the season. Seems like she's a key part of this team.
So 7-6, Cal State Bakersfield again on top. Timmer sends it to the near sideline, brought back in play, and a free ball for Cal State Bakersfield. Set comes to the right this time, and getting it through on the right-hand side is going to be Ava Palm, so she will log in another kill, and it's now 8-6 Cal State Bakersfield, and for the Roadrunners right now going step for step with Washington State.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like a pretty even match, not something like the Cougs are just going to come in here and roll over the Roadrunners.
That one's going to be a service error, but you look at the numbers, and again, for attacking percentages, if you're somewhat new to volleyball, you take the kills, you minus the errors, then divide it by the total attack. So 7-1-15 gives the Roadrunners a 400 hitting percentage as a team, off to a pretty good start. The Cougars themselves at 417, so pretty high early on for both teams. There's the set to the outside, and how about a block from one Katie Ryan to even up this opening set at 8 apiece.
And Carly Basham is fired up on that one. Runs over, gives her a huge hug. That was a rejection off the net there.
Yeah, Carly, so much a spark plug and heartbeat sometimes of this team to just fire everybody up. 8 apiece on the next Cougar serve, a tip over, and that one played nicely by Palm, just over the front row and in front of the back, and the well-placed tip gives the Roadrunners another kill, and Ava Palm will add another one to her total. She's now got 3. So 9-8, Cal State Bakersfield. They get the serve again. Argentina Ung to the outside for Katie Ryan, and Katie Ryan will tack on another one, make it a second kill for her in the early going. And Katie, who had a good weekend in Provo, just not quite the numbers we've seen so far this weekend, already 10 and 13 for her in the kill department in the 2 wins so far. Janssen to serve. All even at 9 apiece. The attack dug out by Basham. Now Pia Timmer, that one blocked back by Cal State Bakersfield, so the Roadrunners getting the side out.
Yeah, it looked like a joint effort there by Makanova and Palm. Palm, interesting enough, 3 kills already, and she only had 3 kills on the season coming into tonight, so definitely having a good game so far.
One of those hometown girls from Bakersfield, went to UTEP before transferring back, and now an ace for the Roadrunners, as delivering that ace is going to be one Ava Palm. But we see this from time to time with collegiate athletes. Sometimes they want to go out and get away from their hometowns, but then sometimes matriculate back to where they were from. There's her serve this time, and the Cougars will play it once again for Katie Ryan, and at a sharp angle finishes that one off for the kill.
It's an incredible spot there by Katie Ryan, going cross court to find that one right in the corner. Nobody in Bakersfield able to reach out, and no one could grab that one.
Sophomore from Rathdrum, Idaho, almost 250 kills a year ago, and is starting her march now in her sophomore season. Cougars within 1 now at 11-10, and Basham to serve, and 7 this afternoon, and her first tonight with an ace.
Yep, just finishing up just like she finished, starting like she finished last game with another ace there.
So a good point for Washington State to even us at 11 apiece. And now Carly again to serve. This time the clean pass set to the right. That one takes a deflection off the net. They say it was touched by Pia Timmer and out of bounds. So point to Cal State Bakersfield to make it 12-11.
Basham talking to Timmer like she didn't know if that went off the net or touched her, but no challenge from the Cougs.
Like the Cougs may have thought that maybe a finger on it from Pia as well. There was a good serve from Cal State Bakersfield, a block back on the attack. One more time, and Magda Halashava finishes it off. Also a late net violation, but it goes against the Roadrunners, so the Cougars will even things up at 12 points apiece.
And out comes Katie Ryan, in comes senior Julia Norville, and she'll be stepping up right to the service line.
I saw that all season last year with them switching spots in the rotation. Probably going to be the same thing this year. Julia being the back row player, Katie the front row player, and she will pick up her first ace of the night. The Cougars will get their second, and the Cougars have seesawed in front now, 13-12.
Yeah, good little run there by the Cougs, able to make up a couple points, some good serving by Basham, and now Norville to get them back on top.
As you mentioned, senior from California, into her final run now as a Coug. Another excellent serve, sends them scrambling beyond the back line, and a free ball for Washington State. They'll set it to the outside for Timmer, dug out by Palm. And then on the attack goes the setup, but the Cougars were there at the net. Now it'll be ongoing on the offense, dug out of the net and back over to Washington State. This time to the right for Magda Halashava. And the Cougars now with 3 straight on top, 14-12.
Halashava just elevating up over the net with running the opposite direction that she turns and then hits that one back cross court. Incredible spot once again.
Nice set from Argentina Ungs, finding her middle over on the right side. Good serve again from Norville. And again, the runners go scrambling, and it's going to be a point for Washington State. We get a break. It's the media timeout here in set number 1. Washington State leading the runners. The Cougars on a 4-0 run. It's Washington State 15. Cal State Bakersfield 12. Just getting things started tonight on Pac-12 Insider. Well, 15-12, Washington State on top. A 4-point run here for the Cougars, and both teams really pretty efficient so far on their attack, but Washington State with this last 4-point run, a little bit of a cushion here, just past the midway point of set number 1.
Yeah, Norville checking in, picked up 2 aces, and now she's set to continue to serve and hopefully extend this lead.
The Cougars had really strong serving earlier this afternoon, had some great serving action last year. Of course, we had the Queen of Aces in Penny Tusa last season, so that's a tough loss, but still expected to be a strength of the team. Cal State Bakersfield off the serve receive does finish off the kill as Bender will get that kill for the Roadrunners, and they get the side out after the 4-point Cougar run, and it's now 15-13 Washington State. Norville to play the serve. They will set it to the outside for Timmer. Now it'll be another attempt from Bender, but the Cougars get to it. Now Pia Timmer with a little touch and a tip across the net for a kill.
Yeah, incredible. She looked and just pointed at Jen Greeny right there, and maybe right out of the media timeout might have been something that they had drawn up there. Both Greeny and Timmer both really happy about that one.
So now she'll head to the service line. That means Janssen to the front row for Washington State as the outside hitters will exchange spots, back row and front row, and Timmer now to serve. That's into the net for a service error, 16-14. What's so interesting about the serve is everybody gets all caught up in aces and errors, but if you're going to have a good service game, you're going to have to accept a few service errors along the way.
Yeah, that's been interesting to learn there, that you'll take a couple errors if you're going to trade them. As long as you're getting more aces than errors, it really helps the team out.
Now the serve from Cal State Bakersfield, and that one just long off the serve of Lau Ray DePra, and with that, it is a point to Washington State, and it's now 17-14. Magda, 3 kills so far on this one to go along with a couple of digs. Now at the service line. Set to the right, Bender looking to try and hit that off a Cougar defender and out of bounds, but the Cougars weren't there. That's just going to be an attacking error and a point to Washington State. Not many errors so far in this one. As a matter of fact, that was just the 3rd for Cal State Bakersfield. Washington State just 1 attacking error so far. And there's one slam dunked home by Cal State Bakersfield. And that one is going to go to Barati as she will pick up the kill.
It looked like Pia Timmer was asking for a push there, a palm there, but nothing called there, and point goes to Bakersfield. Cut the deficit to just 3.
Something that it seems, and maybe not, but at least to me it seems like in recent years that is less and less called in the sport. Seems like they let them, I don't know if it get away with it's the correct term, but this is not called as much as it used to be. As Jasmine Martin set to the right, but that went into the net, so Cal State Bakersfield answering back with back-to-back points, and all of a sudden the Roadrunners are back within a couple.
Yeah, back to your point, seems similar to the carry in basketball, not getting called as much anymore in that one. Yeah, I was sure that would be called, but then it wasn't. Point goes to Bakersfield again.
Here's the serve, there to play at Timmer, now to the outside, and Janssen sends it over, but a good dig out by the Roadrunners. A block at the net by Washington State. That'll send the Roadrunners scrambling, but they're unable to get to it, and a point to Washington State on the side out.
Ung and Martin able to go up there together and both pick up the block there. And the Cougs now looking to break into the 20s here with this serve coming up by Ung.
So Argentina to the service line, 19-16 our score. And her serve up the sideline. Set to the right, big swing, but missing just wide as Ava Palm, and an attacking error. So a couple of those recently for Cal State Bakersfield, and it's now a 20-16 lead for Washington State. I'm gonna go ahead and stay here. Do I got that right? I believe I do. And we will let you know that again, the Cougars a 4-point lead as we move in towards the end of the set. And again, give credit to the Roadrunners who they themselves, like Washington State, a 4-set match earlier. And just a little bit of separation here at the end, and obviously some crucial points, especially for Cal State Bakersfield, to try and climb back in this one coming up.
Yeah, the differences just seemed like that 4 or 5 point run when Norville came in and started serving is really all that's separating the Cougs from the Roadrunners. Cougs are quite a bit above in hitting percentage at .348, with the Roadrunners just sitting at .231, but they're hanging in here, and as soon as the Cougs get a little bit of momentum, they just get a side out, and then they're able to go on a little run of their own, so they're sticking around. You got to give a lot of credit to them.
Yeah, just a few attacking errors over the last 5 or 6 points for Cal State Bakersfield. Remember, they were right there around Washington State with 2 or 3, and they've had a couple of years of late as they were hunting for some lines and just missed, so they're up to 5 attacking errors. Well, the Cougars sitting at just the 2, so again, 20-16 Washington State. Nightcap of what's been a busy day at Bowler, 4 matches so far. And then again, Bakersfield back to take on Belmont tomorrow, and that will officially wrap up the Cougar Challenge. All right, Bakersfield now out of timeouts. Jen Greeny still has both of hers if she wants to use them, in the serve from Washington State. Set for Palm, and a block down by Lara Janssen, and another big hug from Carly Basham for one of her front row players.
Yeah, you gotta love to see that, just firing up each other there as Janssen gets the big block, and Basham, probably the most excited person in the gym to see that one.
So 3 blocks now for Washington State. They've opened up a 5-point lead, their biggest lead of the set, and how about an ace from Argentina? Certainly Basham got the headlines with 7, but Argentina set a career high with 3 earlier this afternoon. So she'll pick up her first of the night. That's already the 4th ace of this opening set for Washington State. Now the set from the Roadrunners. They'll go hunting for a corner, but Basham digs it out. Now Katie Ryan with the tip, right back to the Cougars side of the net. Now Janssen finding the back line. Lara Janssen giving the Cougars a 23-16 run, and now a 5-0 run for Washington State.
Cougs picking up a little bit of steam, trying to ride this one out, a couple more points, and come home with this first set.
Young with the serve, that one into the net, so that will get her off the service line. Now for Cal State Bakersfield, need a little bit of a run of their own, and they're hoping it will come from their senior libero, and that's Paige Calvin, who will set back to the service line, as they got some experience at this position with the senior filling the spot. Serve over to the far sideline as we see things. Jasmine Martin tries to put it away, but Calvin digs it out. There's a serve and a block from Washington State, but they're also going to whistle a net violation, so the point will go to Cal State Bakersfield.
Yep, Paige Calvin will go back to the service line, try and cut this lead even more. 5th-year senior, definitely it's something that head coach Giovanna Mello, before the season even started, was talking about relying on her to be one of the leaders for that team.
So she's ready to fire the next serve across. Timmer with the pass. Now Janssen to send it over. Calvin with the overpass back to the Cougars side of the net. And there to put it away will be Jasmine Martin of Washington State. That'll bring up set point for the Cougars here at 24-18. So a couple for Cal State Bakersfield, but now in a hole here, down a half a dozen at set point for Washington State. Serve into the net, so now goes back over to Cal State Bakersfield, but again, now in the rally scoring era, means 5 in a row required here from Haley McCluskey for Cal State Bakersfield.
Lizzie Bender coming back in, checking in for Sarah Martin. Gonna maybe be looking to her here to try and spark something, get them back into this one before this set ends.
He's led the Roadrunners with 4 kills so far tonight. Timmer trying to put it away. She's asking for the touch, but won't get it. So on the attacking air, Cal State Bakersfield going to keep it going. And actually, it sounds like they may have a out of rotation serve. And that might give the set to Washington State, as Paula Martin coming up and saying, yes, indeed, the Roadrunners were out of rotation on their serve and the wrong person serving it. So a free point to Washington State, not necessarily the way you expect a set to end, but it will end, and Washington State will pick up the victory in set number 1 here from Bowler. So 25-19 ultimately your final score in the opening set, And as the Cougars take the opening set, they'll switch sides, and we'll come back with set number 2 from Pullman. It's next. You're listening to Cougar Volleyball on Pac-12 Insider. Well, 25-19, Washington State in the opening set. What jumped out at you in the opening set of action?
You know, really once Julia Norville came in, you know, it was really even, and then the Cougs go on a little bit of a run. Norville picks up 2 aces there, and then the Cougs just able to just slowly run away with that one. Ung with 8 assists in that first set. Obviously did not come out at all. Just the setter, everything's running it through her. So it's really impressive from the Cougs. Going to be looking for Bakersfield to be going a little bit more to Binder. Had early success. We'll see if they go back to her in set 2.
That was maybe a 4-point spurt when Julia came in that opening set, and once the Cougars kind of opened up that little bit of a cushion, they never let it go. So again, Washington State takes the opening set. The Cougars, by the way, they ended up hitting 357, 12 kills, only 2 attacking errors, and 28 swings. Meanwhile, for Cal State Bakersfield, 12, 6, and 29. All right, second set underway on the serve from the Roadrunners. The set will come back for Laura Janssen, and she'll put it away. And Laura, who had 3 kills along with 2 other Cougars in that opening set, off to a good start here. And again, 2 matches in the books, already double digits. Again, just having, for her as a grad transfer, probably not unexpected, but for her first time in Pullman to have this kind of weekend, pretty nice.
Absolutely.
Gets the serve across, and now the set to the right, and a block back, and that one's going to find its way inside the line. That one was Pia Timmer. I'm sure Jasmine Martin will probably get an assist on that one too, but Pia going up to get that block.
No hug from Carly Basham, but she's definitely excited about that one. Cougs up 2-0 early.
Are we going to have a hug factor, a hug ratio when it gets to Carly as the season goes along?
Absolutely.
There's a attempt from Bender. They are going to say a touch. Jen Greeny, palms raised to the air, wants to know, and we'll double check with the players, and apparently one of them saying, yeah, I think maybe I got a piece of it. So obviously the player's the first to know. They're not always the 100% for sure factor onto whether you present a challenge or not, but if they say they touched it, then they probably, or actually, I'm sorry, they did just rule it out of bounds, so 3-0 Washington State. So they ended up taking the touch off the board. Now Washington State with a 4th consecutive point, and it's now 4-0.
Yeah, that was a great block there. That one by Jasmine Martin, able to go up and get that one, as that one was trying to be sent over there by Bertodi Matsoyer.
So 4-0 Washington State here in the early going of set number 2. Here's the set to the middle, and this time a kill for their middle. And that'll be Bertodi who will pick up the kill. So she gets her kill to finally get the Roadrunners on the board, and a much-needed side out just to try and give the Roadrunners some traction early on in the second set.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're a team coming in, feeling a little bit maybe like the underdog coming into, especially into WSU's place, definitely going to have to not let any big rallies go. So it's good to shut that one down.
Meanwhile, Katie Ryan continues her good play at the net. She goes cross court to pick up a kill. Her and Janssen have been the 1-2 punch this weekend for Washington State. And the sophomore now equals Laura with her 4th kill, and it's now 5-1 Washington State. The serve from Basham now. Good serve, scramble, the tip of the net comes back to the Cougar side. Now Timmer goes up the line. Over to the right side for a palm tip, and that one well placed by Ava Palm, who will get the point for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, it's impressive there by Bakersfield. They're able to get some stops, but like I was saying earlier, you just got to try and string a couple together to stay in this one, and you know, eventually pick up a set. If they can pick up this one, would be huge for them.
Don't let those big runs go against them. Again, we're right there the first half of the opening set, but there is Magda Halashava off the serve receive, dropping the hammer and picking up a point.
That one's looking like it's coming straight down there. Nobody even a chance to react there on Bakersfield as Halashava just gets up and throws a big swing on that one.
And those quick hitters to the middle where they're just able to sky forward and pound it to the ground, those are beautiful to watch. It's now 6-2 Washington State as Norville will serve. to the outside, a big swing, an overpass on the dig. Now an attempt and a block down this time from Magda.
Doing it on both sides there, offensive and defensive, gets the kill, turns around, returns it straight to the block. And as we mentioned earlier, there was another hug there from Basham.
Well, we mentioned this afternoon move past Jen Greeny, her head coach, for block assists into what is 7th place on the all-time list in Cougar history, and there's another one for her tonight. There's a tip across. Argentina finding Magda, this time dug out by Palm, and the swing coming, another block, and Magda had that one actually get to her face, I think, and it ended up off of her and out of bounds. Didn't quite get the hands where she wanted to, but she was certainly there, but took that one kind of right off the kisser, and it ends up out of bounds.
Yeah, that hit earlier by or the set by to Magda, you could see Magda kind of smiling right before she hit that one. Thought she had it for sure, but it was a great dig by Calvin to get it out, and then the Roadrunners get the point.
7-3, Washington State. Early stages of set number 2. Norval to the outside for Pia Timmer, who tips it over and down. So Pia gets the kill, and it's now 8-3 Washington State.
Timmer with her second kill of the night. That one a little bit more finesse than raw power.
We're again seeing Argentina with wide distribution amongst her attackers, as we've seen it all weekend long. The Cougars, as they made their way to the Cougar Challenge, first the serve here from Timmer. Set to the outside, and that one I believe touched at the net, and it will be. It's a point for Haley McCluskey, but in that loss to BYU, they said that they saw some things on tape, and sometimes when you have an early season loss like that, you go back and you look at the tape, and that loss can actually be beneficial to you the rest of the way for the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Going through the non-conference schedule and winning a ton of games can sometimes make you a little lazy, and then you end up getting hurt later in the season because of it.
There's an attempt from Janssen, who goes up. She'll take that one down and put the point on the board. So Washington State will make it a 9-4 lead. Cougars took on 10th-ranked BYU last weekend. They will get another national-ranked team in a couple weeks with Minnesota. And then, of course, there's no shortage of national-ranked teams once we get into conference play. Service error there from Washington State, and it's going to be a serve back over to Cal State Bakersfield. But again, this conference, it's just so tough when it comes to Olympic sports and this sport of volleyball. And Jen Green and the Cougars, of course, have built themselves a program trying to make it to a 7th consecutive NCAA tournament. Timmer from the back row, now to the outside. Cal State Bakersfield, that one is into the antenna, and that's going to be off the attack. And it's going to be a challenge from Giovanna Mello. She says she's going to challenge that. She thinks maybe instead of off the attack, now the down referee going to go and discuss it with the corner linesman as to who actually went off of, and now the two referees are going to get together, because what we have here is obviously a play at the net. The question is, obviously at the antenna, did it go on the attack, or did it go off the block attempt and off of Washington State into the antenna? And so they want to make sure that they get the initial call right, because then if you go to a challenge, and it might be challenged either way, you want to know what it is, and they are going to call it off of Washington State and off of the block attempt and then into the antenna. Meanwhile, for Jen Greeny, over to, I think, first of all, see if Jen wants to challenge, and then second of all, just move things along, and looks like Jen is going to say, no, we're good, and off we'll go with no challenge. So again, ends up off of Washington State, the ruling on the court, and a point to Cal State Bakersfield.
Could be the thing to spark Bakersfield here. We'll see if Laura Depra is able to make something of it here with this serve.
So she is at the service line. Norval will play it. They'll set up Martin, and there's a big block from Bakersfield. They haven't had a ton of them. As a matter of fact, just their second of the night, but going up for that one was Bertotti, and also one of her teammates there as well. And with that, Bakersfield with back-to-back points.
McCluskey coming out of Yakima, Washington, potentially got some hometown fans in the stands loving to see that one.
Here comes the set to the outside for Janssen, and she will graze the antenna on the way by. So Bakersfield now on their best run of the second set, and after the Cougars kind of got off to the early start here in set number 2. It's the Roadrunners who have now scored 4 in a row and have made it a 9-8 game. Ung sends it over. Diving after it will be that time Calvin. It's cleared. And now Washington State with it from the back row. Timmer sends it across. Now Palm going the other way. That one is going to miss, and that'll be an attacking error and a side out to Washington State.
Yeah, Cougs able to shut down that run, but a good run there. A couple blocks, couple kills there, and then also just some luck off the antenna there for the Roadrunners. Get them right back into this one.
I got them to within 1. That side out will make it a 2-point Cougar lead at 10-8, and Argentina serving. Here's the set back into play, and the attempt blocked back by Jasmine Martin. Janssen there as well for Washington State.
Martin just picking up her 5th block of the night. Seems like she's been all over the net, just smothering anything coming across.
Now she had a great match against Ryder earlier and against Duke earlier in last week's action, and now leading the Cougar attack on the defensive side of things with those 5 blocks. Meanwhile, finding her way between the blocks on that one will be Bertati. And we've mentioned her name now a couple of times in the last few points. And again, Bakersfield getting the side out as they are going to get within 2 here at 11-9. Serve now to McCluskey. Basham plays it. Now Katie Ryan with the attempt, but that time didn't clear the net. So again, Cal State Bakersfield within 1. And they're sticking around as we approach the midway point of set number 2.
McCluskey was the one who got called for serving out of order. You can kind of see why. She's got one of the most vicious serves that we've seen here tonight.
Here comes the set to the right for Janssen, who goes cross court. So Lara with another kill. Half a dozen for her now, and it's now 12-10. Meanwhile, the grad transfer back to now serve for Washington State. 25-19, the Cougars in the first. With that service error, it's a 1-point set here in set number 2. It's now 12-11 as Bakersfield will pick up that point on the service error.
Gonna roll back here to Paige Calvin, 5th-year senior, trying to tie this one up for the first time in the second set here for the Runners.
Basham with the pass. Set to the right for Ryan, and she will get a healthy swing away, and she will pick up the point for Washington State. And the Cougars back up a couple here, 13-11.
A couple times I've been wanting to say, both out of Jasmine Martin and also Halashava, that it's, you know, the highest above the net that I've seen somebody, but I think that Katie Ryan right there, 6'5", probably the highest above the net, and just a vicious kill there.
Basham serving right at the net. Trying to play it is Halashava, but they have a front row player that's across the net, and so with that, a point to Washington State. And with that, a 14-11 lead after the violation against the Roadrunners, and now Basham again to serve. Set to the middle this time. Argentina will dig. Now it'll be Katie Ryan with the attempt. That one comes down quickly off a obstruction up top, but tipped across by the Roadrunners. Now from the back row, Janssen, but a good dig that time by the setter, and then a block from Washington State at the net. And the Cougars again on a bit of a run. As a matter of fact, they've opened up a 4-point lead here in set number 2. It's 15-11 Washington State. The Cougars took the first 25-19 and up 15-11 here in the second. We'll be back after this. The Cougar Challenge on Pac-12 Insider. Well, 15-11, Washington State at the media timeout of set number 2. Again, the Cougars taking the opening set 25-19. The Cougars have picked up their block here, now out blocking Cal State Bakersfield 7-2, and that's also resulted in some miscues when it comes to Cal State Bakersfield on offense here in the second set.
Yeah, absolutely. Couple attack errors here from them. as well as a couple from the service line. Cougs get a 4-point lead.
There's the attempt from Cal State Bakersfield. That one's going to miss wide. The coaching staff from Cal State Bakersfield hoping for the touch, but will not get it. So again, that block has become big, and so then mentally you try and get around the block, and that can force the attacking errors. That's now the 8th already of the set for the Roadrunners. They had 6 in the first set, and right now the Roadrunners in negative numbers hitting percentage-wise in the second set. But there's a nice skill to try and get things back on track for Cal State Bakersfield, and it will come from Ava Palm going up the line.
Yeah, exactly what you were talking about, seeing the Roadrunners tip it over a little bit more, trying to go up and over, and then as well as saw Binder trying to just pound it right through and just hit it way too far.
There's the serve. Now it'll be Ryan. Good dig by the Roadrunners to the outside for Bender. At the net for Pia Timmer, who shoves it the other way. Palm to play it. To the middle this time, off the shoulder, off the arm, and then put away by Washington State. Well, that one pinballed around a little bit, but the Cougars will have the quick reflexes to get the point.
Laura Janssen looking like she took that one potentially off the side of the face or maybe off the shoulder. Does a little back roll and looks up just in time to see the ball fall on the floor on the other side, and she was all too happy to see that one fall down.
5-point lead for the Cougars, 17-12 now. The set to the outside, Bender, and that one blocked back again. Argentina Hung and Magda Halashava, block number 8 for Washington State on the night. Timeout taken by Cal State Bakersfield, but this time we will keep things here with the Cougars having a 6-point lead. But again, the two kind of going hand in hand here with what the Cougars are doing at the net. Obviously the 8 blocks, you're not going to get any kills if the other team's blocking it the other way. And then if you're trying to be so fine to get it around the block, that also compounds things with the attacking percentage for Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, absolutely 15 attack errors that we're looking at for Cal State Bakersfield. The Cougs just with 5. WSU definitely looking like they're playing a lot more free, just going up, ready to hit it no matter what. Bakersfield looks like they're thinking a little bit too much there, trying to go around, trying to go over, just like what you were saying, and it's just really leading to a lot of miscues, whether it's getting blocked right back at them or whether they're trying to do too much to get it across.
And the other thing for Washington State that we're seeing here in this match is you're kind of seeing it spread out, and I think that's what the coaching staff would want, but you look at the attack, you got 6 kills apiece from Janssen and Katie Ryan, and then you look at the blocking numbers, and for Washington State, they've already got a half a dozen players with blocks in this match.
Yeah, it's just really impressive to see Katie Ryan and Janssen both just having not even a solid game, but a solid day, both with 13 kills as well, and they just seem to be pacing each other there. One game each with 13, and now both of them with half a dozen already in this game, just going to keep on. Looks like they're competing with each other, but they're just staying stride for stride with each other.
So Cal State Bakersfield down 6, an important stretch here as they try and make a run to try and make this one close at the end of the set. A good swing by Bender. It's dug out across the net, and once again, that front door shut for Cal State Bakersfield. Halashava and Ung up for the block that time.
Just seems like no matter where CSU Bakersfield attacks on the net, just got 1 or 2 Cougs there, right there, a couple arms up to block it.
So again, the serve from Norval as she's back at the service line. Now the set to the middle, a tip across that Basham comes up to play. Halashava with the tip of her own. Now a free ball for Washington State. Back set to the right, a block by Cal State Bakersfield this time, and now Janssen from the back row. Dug out, and Cal State Bakersfield can't quite get it across.
I don't know if that goes as an attack error or just a general one there, but Laura DePros sets it up, and nobody there to finish it and get it to the other side there.
Another timeout for the Roadrunners. Again, we'll keep things here at 20-12 as the Cougars on a 4-0 run. And sometimes you'll see this, especially in non-conference play too, the size of Washington State. And again, you look at some of the numbers of the players, and you mentioned the height of Katie Ryan, and then you add in Magda Halashava. This is an undersized Cal State Bakersfield team compared to Washington State, and that's kind of starting to tilt Washington State's favor.
Yeah, absolutely. When you got a setter in Argentina, who's 6 foot, she'll go up, and she's got a couple blocks today as well. It just, all of that combined just adds in to help the Cougs just really with a bigger presence than Cal State does on the court.
Again, 9 blocks for Washington State, 5 so far for Jasmine Martin, 4 for Magda Halashava, 3 for Ung, and then 2 apiece for Ryan Timmer and Janssen. So again, that size advantage helping out. And of course, they have a head coach who was a pretty good middle blocker in her own right, so you know she loves that number when it comes to accumulating blocks here in Pullman. She's one of the all-time best in Washington State University history, and again, now recruiting the type of athletes that produce that on a night-in, night-out basis. Cal State Bakersfield going to try and change momentum here in just a little bit as they'll bring in a couple of subs. You got Samia Bakta who's going to check in, 6-foot sophomore from Gilbert, Arizona, so she's now into the contest. Also in will come Ella Erteltova as she makes her way in as well. All right, 20-12, Washington State. The serve over from Norval, but that one is a little bit long and a service error for Washington State.
A couple quick subs now as McCluskey and Sarah Martin are both going to check back in. And yeah, you got to hope that a service error like that is just anything for the Roadrunners to use and just try and take off with and maybe try and claw their way back into this set.
Right now, the 7-point lead for the Cougars at 20-13. Again, they won the opening set 25-19. Basham to Ung, now to the outside for Timmer. And that one is a touch at the net for Cal State Bakersfield, and a point to Washington State to make it 21-13.
Yeah, not a huge touch there from Bakersfield, but definitely just enough there. And now it's going to lead to Pia Timmer with the chance to extend this lead here from the service line.
Senior from Germany, studies the other side of the net. Now will fire it across. That one way into the air. Now waiting for it to drop will be McCluskey to send it over. Now Washington State tips it across. The Bakersfield Roadrunners will send it back to the Cougars. Ung goes on the attack, but kept alive by Cal State Bakersfield. Now to the outside for Janssen. Not only will she finish off the kill, but a net violation as well, and another point to Washington State.
It's just another almost cyclical kill there from Janssen. Every couple points, she's just right there to make it happen.
So 22-13, Cougs now by 9, and the next serve from Timmer. Short serve this time. To the right side, a battle at the net, back to the Bakersfield Roadrunners, and a free ball for Washington State. Ung on the offense, and she'll put it away. Again, got some time as a fill-in attacker last season, so obviously her primary duties this year is going to be setting, but when she sees the opportunity, she's going to go for it.
Absolutely. Just saw that on her stat sheet, just not very many assists last year, looking like she wasn't a setter, and she already has 159 coming into this game against CSU Bakersfield as there's a whistle.
Yeah, double contact on the Roadrunner double set. Of course, here in 2022, we're all dealing in college athletics with the transfer portal, and Hannah Pukas, our setter last year, transferred out, and Argentina filling in quite nicely the first couple weeks of the season for Washington State. All right, there's the serve from Timmer. Here comes the set to the outside from McCluskey. That one gonna be long and wide, and a point for the Cougars.
And that's gonna be set.
Yeah, 5-0 run. Didn't feel early on like we were gonna have this much of a discrepancy with set number 2, but it ends up being all Washington State in the second set. They take the first set 25-19, the second set 25-13, and here in Pullman, Washington State 2-0 set-wise over the Roadrunners, and we'll be back with set number 3 next on Pac-12 Insight. Well, 2-0. Washington State took the opening set 25-19, second set 25-13. And as you look at the numbers, pretty well even for Washington State. And that usually is a sign of your setter doing a good job, and Argentina's done a really good job for Washington State.
Yeah, absolutely. 16 assists for her, and then she's just filling up the scoreboard in her own stat sheet there. 3 blocks, 3 digs, 4 total swings, and she's got a kill to her name as well.
So the the redshirt junior back to serve for Washington State. Her serve is across, and might as well add an ace to the total as well, as she already had one, making a second now on the board, and 1-0. So I guess we picked the right player to come back to, and it's a 1-0 Washington State.
Yeah, you talk about a balanced attack here. She's just doing it in all facets of the game.
Here comes the next serve from Argentina. Set to the middle this time, another block from Washington State. Jasmine Martin and Katie Ryan teaming up for that. And really, again, this block is starting to become a big number for the Cougars in this one.
Yeah, just getting into double digits right there, picking up their 10th total block, and then you're just gonna leave Ung to continue to keep serving here.
10-2 now, blocking totals in favor of the Cougars. Another block from Washington State, that one from Jasmine Martin, but covered by the runners. They will send it across. Now to the outside for Janssen, but blocked back this time by Cal State Bakersfield. Is getting to that one was a couple of newbies in for the Cal State Bakersfield. We see into the ball game Naomi Chankumi, as she ends up getting a block on that one. And also in is another new player for Cal State Bakersfield that we will get to in a bit. She just exited, and now it'll be Paige Calvin serving. Set to the right side for Janssen. That will be another kill from Laura Janssen. Vying for the 3rd straight match to double-digit kills here at the Cougar Challenge. And again, that's not necessarily easy if you're playing straight set affairs, and now she's got her 8th kill. We'll set to the outside for Bender, and she's gonna add a kill to her total. We'll see if Cal State Bakersfield can try and bring up that attacking percentage. It was pretty good in the opening set, but then really saw that start to decline in set number 2 thanks to the Cougar defense.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of attacking errors there. 18 on the day for the Roadrunners, just leading to a really low attacking percentage, as you mentioned.
Serve for the Sarah Martin. Now Jasmine Martin in the middle to add another kill to her total. So again, seeing the Cougars continue their well spread out offense, as it's now 4-2 Washington State. And that's now 5 Cougs with at least 3 kills or more in this match. Now Basham to the service line. Lining that one up, the runners, but the Cougars get to it. Now one more attempt for Bender. With the pass. Basham will set. Timmer goes up the line, but dug out that time by Martin. Hit back across by the runners. Now Katie Ryan up with it, but dug out by Cal State Bakersfield. A tip across. Now it's Janssen from the back row. Long rally here, a joust at the net, still going. And the hit across from Cal State Bakersfield. To the right side from Katie Ryan, and that'll be a point for Cal State Bakersfield, and what might be touch-wise the longest rally of the match.
Exactly what I was gonna say, the longest one there. And Cal State comes out on top on that one, just hoping that they can turn that into something here as Caroline Bank comes in to serve for the Roadrunners.
So she will make her way into the contest. Cal State Bakersfield, again, another match tomorrow. So, again, starting to see them use a few more subs here in the 3rd set. Meanwhile, Magda Halashava putting that one away on a good set from Argentina.
Yeah, whenever those sets come up just super low and they're just able to hammer away at them, it's almost a guaranteed point there, and especially for Halashava, just swinging that one down with some velocity. Nobody there.
The quick header for her gives her her 6th kill. She is yet to commit an attacking error, so hitting 64-62 on the match. A tip over by Cal State Bakersfield. Basham dives after it to keep it going, and Janssen's attempt from the back row into the net and a side out to Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, rare attacking error there from Janssen. Even from the back row, she's been extremely efficient, but it's going to go back to the Roadrunners.
So the serve to Cal State Bakersfield, and it will be a serve coming from McAnova. Here's the set for Pia Timmer. Powers that through the block attempt, and the Roadrunner block was there. Just too much power behind Pia Timmer's swing that time.
Yeah, had two people both get an arm on it, but like you said, just went through, and then nobody there to find it. Nobody could get their eyes on where it was, and just tipped out to the side.
6-4 in favor of the Cougars, looking for a straight set sweep, but still early on here in set number 3. Palm looking for the back corner and will find it. So Ava Palm, who had things going early, trying to keep things going here for the runners here in the third set, and that'll be her sixth kill and a side out over to Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, relatively quiet in the second set, but Ava Palm coming back in now. And then Naomi Chankumi, who we had mentioned earlier, this is actually her first set that she's played this season, so she's able to come in and hopefully put in some good minutes.
Set to the right for Magda. Block, a good get by Janssen. And a free ball for Cal State Bakersfield. Set to the right for Chankumi, and a ball that ends up on the Cougars side of the net. So Naomi will add a kill after getting a block earlier. And here's the Roadrunners again, even at 6 now in set number 3. So another serve the way of Cal State Bakersfield. Desprez sends it to Norwell, to the outside for Janssen. Dug out that time by Calvin. Palm with the attempt, but that went into the antenna on the attacking arrow. Point to Washington State.
That's another one for the Roadrunners. They're now at 19 attacking errors here, almost all the way up into that 20 mark. So you're just able to erase some of those mistakes. Those first couple sets could have been a little bit closer, trying to tighten it up here. And they're doing a better job in this third one, trailing by just 1.
Now the Roadrunners setting outside, and that time a little bit of a either mistimed jump or a missed set, and either way it will go down as an error for the Roadrunners and a point to Washington State. And again, for the Roadrunners, again at 0.42 their attacking percentage. Again, they've played well enough to be very competitive tonight, just not quite enough to be right there with Washington State, and either a spurt here or a spurt there has been the difference. Janssen sends it over. Now a tip over, and that will get through that time. A Jasmine Martin block attempt, but it'll be a kill for Cal State Bakersfield.
That one by Bertodi Matoyer was barely off the ground there, but 6'5" was able to just reach up there and just sling that one right across. Got blocked, but ended up on WSU's side of the net.
Serve across, Timmer with the pass. Jasmine Martin lining things up on the slide as the middle blocker will slide to the right side of the net, and she'll finish that point off for the Cougars.
Her 4th kill on the night. Just a really impressive cross court right there. Running to the right and then turn around and smacking that one cross court back to the left.
So back to our initial server of the set, Argentina Ung. Here's the attempt from Cal State Bakersfield that the Cougs are able to dig out. With the left hand, Martin able to just get a hand on it. That one was coming at her. I'm not sure it was ticketed for her, but she found a way to get it over the net and get it down. And Jasmine says, all right, I'll take it. So now 5 kills for her. And a lead out to 3 for Washington State at 10-7. Set to the outside, a block back from Washington State. Now the attempt over from Chankumi, dug out by the Cougars, and Katie Ryan to send it over. Bender, a tip. That's gonna fall in as Ung tried to play it but couldn't quite get a clean pass off of it, and a point to Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, point goes to Bakersfield there, but Pia Timmer laying out and making a great dig right there. Really got the crowd fired up. Couldn't turn it into a point there.
10-8 Washington State. Paige Calvin serving for the Roadrunners. It'll be Janssen from the right side, and that one gonna miss. So a point to the Roadrunners to make it now 10-9. Meanwhile, the corner linesman making his way over. As a matter of fact, all 4 officials are gonna make their way over to the chair to discuss the ruling on this one.
Yeah, this one was hit by Janssen. Appeared to be deep, but went off the foot of the official, but they do stand outside the court, so if it hits their foot, most of the time it's gonna go out of bounds, but what they were talking about was the tip, and it does end up turning around and going to the Cougs.
So that means that Giovanni Mello will want an explanation, so Paula Martin over to discuss things with her, and we're gonna get a challenge here from Cal State Bakersfield. So again, the challenge is it's gonna be as to whether it was a touch or not a touch. Again, ruled on the court as a touch. And again, the interesting thing here, and what I've liked really from the officiating crew today, is they brought everybody over together so they could talk about what they thought exactly happened and what everybody saw. They came up that they decided that it was touched by Cal State Bakersfield. Now, of course, you have every right to challenge, and Cal State Bakersfield going to do that, and you can go and look at it, but making sure that at least for the initial call, everybody was on the same page.
Yeah, it's interesting in football and baseball, such a big field that you're playing on, the challenges don't seem so personal. The coach is not exactly looking at the players, but here Mello just looks right at number 20, Lizzie Binder, and goes, "Did you hit it?" She said no, so then right away she just goes straight to the challenge.
So now the look at the replay from Paula Martin. Of course, she's got the headset on. Both teams will also use this as a makeshift timeout as well, but a challenge being issued by Cal State Bakersfield. Again, it's right now ruled the Washington State point at 11-8, and we will see if there's enough evidence to overturn this or not. And again, they're going to take a look at another angle on it, just getting a little bit of a look at it from my location, but not enough for me to make a determination one way or the other. Again, so interesting now in 2022 how no matter what the sport is now, they all have a few different rules that you go by, but instant replay becoming such a huge part in challenges and video replay when it comes to sports.
Yeah, just being integrated into everything. You know, you never see this, obviously not into the high school level yet, but you get to college and football and baseball and now volleyball and everything of the sort, just able to just get the exact right call, which I think it's good for the sport.
So again, after making the determination, they're going to say it was out, and so Cal State Bakersfield will win the challenge and they will get that overturned. So instead of a point to Washington State, you take that point off the board, you give it to Cal State Bakersfield, and again, in Raleigh scoring, it's instead of a 3-point lead, it's cut down to a 1-point margin. So these challenges become such a big deal at this stage of the set.
Yeah, absolutely, it is a big thing, and now, yeah, instead of a 3-point lead, like you said, they're hanging around, able to tie it up right here off this serve.
The set for Katie Ryan, and a block down by the Roadrunners, and again, making an impact coming in here as again, one of these new players for Cal State Bakersfield, and that again is Naomi Chankumi, who picks up another block.
Yeah, absolutely. Had not a lot of stats on her, hadn't played this season, but came in from Hillsborough Community College in Miami, and like you said, especially in this set, making a big difference.
Here's the set to the right for Lara Janssen, and she will pick up the kill. 11-10 now, Washington State, as Lara will pick up her 9th kill, so now a kill away from her 3rd straight match in double digits. And now she's back to the service line. That one sails a little bit long, so even now at 11 apiece in the 3rd set. Cougars up 2-0, 25-19 and 25-13. Again, the Cougars with maybe a little more spurt ability tonight, but that's about it. Other than that, the runners certainly at times and through the first half of each set have stuck around. Set outside for Timmer and a tip. That one's gonna fall in, trying to pancake it up was Martin, but couldn't quite get to it. And with that, a Washington State kill and a point to the Cougars to make it 12-11.
Yeah, it was a convincing effort there from Sarah Martin, but the referee just right there with an eye on it, saw that it hit the ground before it hit her hand.
So now the serve from Carly Basham. Another ace for Carly on what was a record-tying day earlier. She tied the program record with 7 aces in the first match of the day for the Cougars. You can add for her another 3 to go along with today, and it's actually making it her second one, I'm sorry. So 9 total for Carly on the day. 13-11 Washington State. Katie Ryan set up, and that one will find the back line. And Katie Ryan will extend the Cougar lead. And we talked about the Cougars being able to go on little mini runs, and they're on another one now to extend this lead out to 3.
Yeah, Cougs just a couple really good points in a row, just able to set it up either for Janssen or Ryan, and just able to finish it off strong.
We're tied at 11, now it's 14-11, and Martin that time getting to the serve. And one of those excuse me overpasses that it comes over so quickly and you're not expecting it. It ends up being a point for Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, Martin just really excited about that one. Had to lay out for it as soon as she looks up. Nobody on WSU able to get to it. She was fired up to get a kill.
They get a dig and a kill on that all together in one.
Absolutely.
So now an ace from Cal State Bakersfield. So the Cougars were looking to try and go up 4 into the media timeout, but instead Cal State Bakersfield has answered back with 2 straight, and they're back within 1 now.
Caroline Benke picking up that ace.
Now it'll be Timmer on the pass, setting up Magda, who finishes off that point. The Cougars will take a lead into the media timeout. It's 15-13. Washington State trying to go a perfect 3-0 at the Cougar Challenge and trying to win this one in straight sets. They're up 2-0 and leading 15-13. And we'll be back after this. It's Cougar Volleyball on Pac-12 Insider. Well, 15-13, Washington State here in set number 3 again. Washington State leading 2-0, and the Cougars on the match hitting .296. Meanwhile, for Cal State Bakersfield hitting .062. The big difference so far, what I've seen, is again, when you get these 3-point, 4-point, 5-point runs, they've been so heavily in favor of Washington State, and that's really been the difference in each of the first 2 sets so far.
Yeah, you really can count on just a couple fingers how many of those runs the Roadrunners have had, and on the other side, the Cougs almost at double-digit runs of 3 or 4 points.
All right, so again, 15-13 as we welcome you back from the media timeout. Another side out, as that's going to be a net violation on Washington State. And again, we've seen this from the Roadrunners throughout the evening where they are not going away. And again, back within 1 here. The question is can they avoid another 3-point, 4-point Washington State run the rest of the way in this set?
Yeah, they're going to need one of their own here to come away with this one.
Now the set for Timmer, waiting for it to come down. That one catches the net on the way by. Set to the middle, a tip, partially blocked at the net, stays on the Cougar side, and now Janssen with the push across. The outside for Palm. Now it's Argentina going on the offense and picking up the kill for Washington State.
Yeah, once again, just the pass over right there by Ung picks up, I believe, her second kill, doing the exact same move there. Really hard to know when she's going to go up, set one up for Halashava, or whether she's just going to take it herself.
Second kill to go along with 26 assists, a couple of aces, 7 digs, 3 blocks of filling up the stat sheet. Are we going to have a challenge? We are. And they're going to challenge whether or not Washington State was in the net. So it'll be whether or not a player from Washington State contacts the net on this one. So they will see if there is a net violation on Washington State. Now, what I don't know is if it was on Argentina there on the finishing play, or whether it was something that happened prior to that finishing off of the point. But again, Cal State Bakersfield looking like at least sometime during that point they thought a Cougar player was in the net, and so now they're going to challenge that here on a net violation.
Yeah, not sure if are you able to challenge from previous or just from that final kill, and can you challenge the entire point?
You can challenge whatever you want to throughout the points, and so if they thought that somebody was in there initially, you wait until the point concludes, and then you can go back, and from what I'm told, you can go back and you can look at it and more or less look at whatever you want to look at, and if they see a net violation throughout the point, they can call it. So again, I didn't see anything on Argentina's kill. I'm just trying to roll through the memory banks of that entire point, the way it played out, whether or not there was anything that seemed close to it. But Paula Martin has gone through the footage, has made the discussion, and has decided no, the Cougars were not in the net, and the point will go to Washington State. So give the kill to Argentina, make it 16-14 Washington State. As again, the Cougars up 2-0, trying to win this one in straight sets and make it a perfect 3-0 at the Cougar Challenge this weekend. Washington State coming into this match at 4-1, Cal State Bakersfield 1-3. Palm will squeeze that one through the block attempt up front for Washington State, and Ava Palm will pick up her 8th kill for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, just 1 kill, career high 1 kill, and just 3 on the season. And she's really having the game of her season so far with 8, like you just mentioned.
Ava Palm, a sophomore. Here comes the set for Magda Halashava. That one just a little bit wide, and Cal State Bakersfield now with back-to-back points, and we're level at 16 apiece now.
Halashava with her first attack error right there. Not something common.
Allows the Roadrunners to tie it. That's going to be on the line for an ace for Cal State Bakersfield. So a little bit of a run, and again, we haven't seen many of these for the Roadrunners, but 3 in a row for them, and it's allowed Cal State Bakersfield to take the lead.
It's exactly what they were looking for coming out of the media timeout.
The set to the outside for Janssen. Dug out across the net, or into the net, I should say, and with that, a point for Washington State. So that'll stop the 3-0 run. Serve back over to Washington State. Martin back in to play the front row. Magda back to the service line as we're all even at 17 aside. Washington State trying to win this one in 3 straight. Up 2-0. Back set to the right for Palm. Across the net, but out of bounds, and Ava Palm now 1 shy of 10 on the match for Cal State Bakersfield in the kill department.
Yeah, she's been all over the court and all over the net there, just continuing to put up big numbers, and now she's back at the service line to try and extend this lead for the Roadrunners.
Oh, set to the outside for Janssen. Now the runners to Bender, and they will pick up the kill. So Bender adds a kill, and Cal State Bakersfield, who were down 16-14. They have scored 5 of the last 6 and have taken a 2-point lead here in the second half of set number 3.
Bender with her 7th kill, 8th kill actually right there, and she had 17 earlier today.
Set to the right for Martin, who whistles one up the line to get the serve back for Washington State. And the Cougars back within 1 now on the kill from Jasmine Martin. Katie Ryan back in to play the front row for Washington State. Argentina back to the service line. Short serve, and it's into the net, so a service error.
Yeah, just a perfect, you could hear the slap on that ball, just hit it all too perfectly. Just didn't get enough power on that one for Ung. And one thing I was gonna point out is that the Cougs just seem to be dominating every statistical category, except for they do have 9 service errors to the Roadrunners just 3, so something they're going to want to clean up before they continue the season.
Basham dives after the serve, an overpass, a nice dig though by Timmer, and Janssen sends it the other way. Now the runners able to get the point on a kill for Makanova, and that'll be a point for Cal State Bakersfield and a timeout taken by Washington State. So again, after a 16-14 lead for Washington State, this is now 7 of the last 9 points to Cal State Bakersfield. And we talked about that spurt ability for Washington State. Well, now this latest one going towards the Roadrunners, which is allowing them to have a chance here in this third set.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that I'm assuming head coach Giovanna Mello talked about was they're giving up too many runs and they're not getting enough of their own. So they're luckily able to flip the script on that one in this set. Now going, like you said, on a 7-2 run here in this last 9 points. A lot of it coming at the hand of Ava Palm. 9 kills now. She's only a 222 hit percentage, but she has been the leader so far on that Roadrunner team.
Meanwhile, for Cal State Bakersfield, we've talked about their attacking errors throughout the night, but they've done a really good job in this set of limiting those attacking errors. Only 3 so far in the set for Cal State Bakersfield. That compared to the 6 for Washington State, who's the Roadrunners hitting 250 in this third set, with Cougars hitting 226. Meanwhile, a really nice evening for Ava Palm continuing. Not only 9 kills, but also 5 digs. And also a little bit more of a presence at the net for Cal State Bakersfield ever since Chankumi came into the game for them. All right, 21-18 in favor of the runners. They've got the serve. Here's the set for Katie Ryan, who will get the kill for Washington State. It's now 21-19. Now can the Cougars get points on their own serve? They will need to do so here down the stretch. Down a couple here, 21-19.
They're relying on Janssen here to get this one over and get the Cougs within 1.
Good serve, an overpass, and Jasmine Martin puts it away. Certainly doesn't go down as an ace. It's a kill for Jasmine Martin, but that Janssen serve is what set that point all up.
Yeah, it feels good to get a free one right there. It's got to. For Martin, she picks up her 7th kill, and now just right away, CSU Bakersfield feeling the momentum switch a little bit, so they're going to take a timeout of their own.
So again, keeping things here, again, for Cal State Bakersfield, if you want to follow along with them, they've got one more match here. That'll take place tomorrow when they take on Belmont. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, they're wrapping things up here, a long road trip all the way to the other side of the country coming up next week.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be taking on Howard on September 9th here, so they got a couple days to prepare here. It's going to be next Friday, 1 week from today. They're going to be playing Howard and Fairfield. They're both on the same day. They're going to be finishing up that tournament there, like you said, on the East Coast against Farley Dickinson on September 10th, the same day that the football team will be taking on the Wisconsin Badgers.
Football, of course, getting started this week in full force. Cougars at home, so a lot of folks in town and on campus, and we are going to have a lot of these weekends where you can come on out and catch Cougar athletics. Again, a couple of weeks to wrap up conference play, so after that, the Cougars will begin conference play over in Seattle when they take on the Huskies. But first, not only the rest of non-conference, but the rest of this one. Cougars within 1 after the timeout, and a serve into the top of the net, and a service error for Washington State.
It's another one. That's the 10th there, service error for the Cougs. Jen Greeny obviously not super happy about that one, got her arms folded. And now Bakersfield with a 2-point lead, just trying to stay alive here, not let the Cougs catch them again and get to that 25-point mark and take one set for them.
Big point here, either a bigger cushion of the Cougars again, back within 1. Katie Ryan going up, and that one's gonna miss wide. So on the attacking error, the lead out to 3 for Bakersfield. It's now 23-20. Another timeout from Washington State as they will empty the tank as far as timeouts are concerned. So can't carry them over from set to set or from match to match. So applying a little ice to the Cal State Bakersfield server. As you look at this one, the Cougars obviously have to go on a little bit of a run here at the end to try and finish this one off in 3. I think should Bakersfield take this set, the start of set number 4 will be really interesting to see how these two teams come out. But first things first, we've got to get through this third set and see if we even need a fourth set.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm head coach Jen Greeny, what I'm talking about in this set right here in this timeout is that they just really want to get out of here in 3 sets. They're so close to completing the perfect 3-0 sweep. And again, on the other side, if you're the head coach of the Roadrunners, you're going to be wanting to tell them, just extend this thing. You never know what happens in set 4, but we just got to get there.
So again, as we continue on here, the Cougars with now 7 attacking errors in this set. They've now been out-hit in this set by Cal State Bakersfield. The Roadrunners hitting 250 while Washington State at 235 to this stage. So again, 23-20. The Roadrunners with the lead, and a very important point coming up here because it'll either set up 4 set points for Cal State Bakersfield or it'll bring the Cougars to within a couple. Set to the outside for Timmer, and that'll be a point for Cal State Bakersfield, and it will indeed be set point for the Roadrunners here.
Once again, it's a good hit there by Timber, but just a couple people there. That time, Makanova as well as Bender there to block it. And now just 1 point away from Bakersfield getting out of here with this set.
Serve over, played by Basham. Timmer from the left side, dug out by the Roadrunners. Bender lines one up. Timmer will play it. Now a tip over from Janssen. Bender again. Comes to the Cougar side. Free ball for the Roadrunners. Set to the outside for Bender's tip. Now it'll be Janssen. Free ball for Cal State Bakersfield. To the right. And another good get by Janssen to keep things going. Bender with the attempt, but that one is going to miss wide. Pretty lengthy rally, and the Cougars stay in it and we'll get the serve.
Yeah, it's a long point and also an emotional one. And now you look at the service line, you got exactly who you want, Carly Basham, up to try and go on a run here. They're going to need 5 in a row if they're going to want to come away with this set.
Well, they need 3 in a row just to keep the set going to try and tie things up at 24 apiece. But yeah, 5 in a row would certainly give them the set and the match, but instead hits the top of the net. We've seen that a few times in this set, and with that, Cal State Bakersfield's going to push us to a 4th set tonight. So Cal State Bakersfield wins the 3rd set, 25-21. Cougars still up 2 sets to 1, and we're back after this with set number 4. It's Cougar Volleyball on Pac-12 Insight. Washington State taking the opening 2 sets here from Pullman, Washington, but it's Cal State Bakersfield who ends up taking set number 3, 25-21. And you look at the attacking numbers from the 3rd set, it was the Cal State Bakersfield with a 194 hitting percentage. The Cougars at 189, so very similar, but it was Cal State Bakersfield and the last 10 points that kind of was able to go on that run to take the lead and then preserve it to go on for a set victory here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it came down to finally that service error there, which we had talked about, kind of the big thing for the Cougs all day. Just the one thing kind of hindering them from just running away with it. They got 11 now on the day, far outpacing the Roadrunners with just 3. So now the Roadrunners going to see if they can do it again here and push this one all the way to a set 5. And it's going to be starting off in the hands of Ava Palm, who really has been the lifeline and really the hottest player here for the Bakersfield Roadrunners with 9 kills.
So her serve across. The Cougars will go to Jasmine Martin, and she will pick up the kill for Washington State. That'll be her 8th kill of the evening. So 3 Cougs with 8 or more kills as Jasmine becomes the 8th, and we are underway now in set number 4 from Pullman and a 1-0 Washington State lead. Now comes the set to the outside. Hit over, Janssen digs it out. Now Timmer going cross court for the kill for Washington State, and it's 2-0.
Palm unable to handle that one. Timmer just bringing that one deep cross court, going in the back corner into that 4 spot if you're looking at the service chart there, and so able to get the point. Cougs up 2-0.
So here comes the next serve from Janssen. That's into the net, and the count now 2-1 in favor of Washington State. Really, for Washington State and the 2 matches they played here today, I think the 2 things that have kind of struck out to me is, one, a lot of credit to both Belmont and Cal State Bakersfield for bringing what they brought against Washington State, because I think both have played some really good volleyball today. Here's the set to the outside for Timmer, and she tips it across. And I guess on the Washington State side of things, and this is no disrespect to either Belmont or Cal State Bakersfield, but they've had some chances where maybe they could have put the right foot on the accelerator and just finished off their opponent. They haven't been able to do that quite yet today.
Yeah, absolutely. Just had a couple chances to run away with it. Even in that last set, brought it within 1 or 2 points there at 19-20, but again, just couldn't finish it off. And once again, and that's number 9, Naomi Chankumi, who's able to come in and make a difference there. She picks up her 2nd kill to go along with 2 blocks.
So 3-2 Washington State. Again for the Cougs. Still feeling out process as it is for everybody. Remember, we're just kind of dipping our toes into the water of this 2022 season. Just week number 2. Here comes the set to the right side now for Katie Ryan, and she will add another kill to her total, so make it 9 now for her. And the Cougars now with a 4-2 lead. The 2 obvious things to do in non-conference is, 1, build your tournament resume. If you're Washington State, again, trying to do what you can to get back to a 7th straight NCAA tournament. As the serve across from Norville. Set to the middle, tipped over. Basham with a nice play. Back over to the Cougars side. Now it'll be Timmer lining one up. That one off the libero. Hits one of the vents up overhead. Brought back over, but out of bounds as they can't play the deflection from overhead. But just to get back to the point, you want to build your resume, but it's also about fine-tuning your team for what's going to lie match in and match out once you get to Pac-12 conference play.
Yeah, I feel like the worst thing you could come out of the non-conference schedule feeling like is you got nothing to work on if everything's going smooth. So definitely some things the Cougs can try and tune up.
Here comes the set to the outside for Bender. That one just a little bit wide as the Cougars elected to let that one go, and it will be an attacking error. So Cougars out to a 6-2 lead here at the start of set number 4. So again, looking to not only try and edge away, but find that killer instinct to try and put this one away quickly, as Norville with a good serve. Now Bender with the send over. From the back row, Janssen flies forward to pick up a kill.
Every time that Norville comes in, seems like the Cougs tend to go on a run. Obviously a great server. She's got a couple aces to go along today, but just a lot of that turning into just perfect sets up there, like that one for Janssen.
Such a key part to a talented team. That one is going to end up just a little bit long. I wasn't sure if it brushed by the arm, but it did not. It's a service error. But you talk about Julia, and again, a back row player that is going to pick up her fair share of digs, but also with what she's able to do at the service line, just again, to have that presence from somebody to come off the bench and pick you up has been big for Washington State, and again, back for her senior season. Cal State Bakersfield now with an ace, so again, it'll be an ace for Bender. So again, right when you start to think that the Cougars are going to kind of run away with things, right back comes the Roadrunners with back-to-back points.
Yeah, absolutely, just always hanging around. Got to give a lot of credit to them. And then Bender coming in there with that massive ace, trying to cut the lead to 2 here.
To the right side for a Magda Halashava tip, and that'll fall in. Magda now with 8 kills to go along with 4 blocks. And it's an 8-4 Washington State lead. Meanwhile, substitution in for Cal State Bakersfield as Benke once again makes her way in. And now it'll be Pia Timmer serving for Washington State. Her serve, a good one, but they get to it and back over to the Cougar side. Halashava with an attack that's partially blocked at the net. Palm goes up, that one blocked down by Magda Halashava. So she'll add another one to her total. Again, earlier this afternoon, moved past Jen Greeny on the all-time Cougar list in block assists, and she's picked up a few more blocks here tonight. That becomes her 4th of the night, actually making her 5th now. Palm with the tip. Norval can't quite get to it, so that'll fall in. But Magda with her 5 blocks tonight, continuing to close in on the next person. As a matter of fact, she's now 1 behind Jocelyn Urias for 6th on the all-time list in block assists. Norval to Ung, a dump, and that one's gonna fall right in.
Once again, Ung just getting creative there. Sometimes going with the forceful push over. That one was just a quick set push is what it looked like, a little bit less on that one, but just right into that sweet spot where there's nobody home.
So it'll be Magda Halashava to the service line. That one grazes the net as it crosses. Palm goes up for it, dug out by Magda. To the outside for Janssen, who goes up the line, and that will be another kill for Laura Janssen. And it's now a 11-5 Washington State lead.
Yeah, really starting to put together some solid points here, and just like that, with the 11-5 lead, it's going to be a timeout here by CSU Bakersfield.
Yeah, so Bakersfield going to call the timeout at 11-5. I think that means we'll take a break here from Bowler. And as we break away, the Cougars up 2-1. Bakersfield took the last set. Cougars off to a good start, though, to try and win this one in 4, and we're back after this. You're listening to Cougar Volleyball on Pac-12 Insider. Well, 11-5 Washington State. It's 4th set action. The Cougars took the opening 2 sets, 25-19, 25-13, but Cal State Bakersfield taking the third, 25-21. The Cougars off to a good start, though, here as we approach the midway point of set number 4, up 11-5. Palm with the attack, bounces off the net and ends up out of bounds, and on that attacking arrow point to Washington State.
Yeah, it looked like it could have been tipped, but it was just perfectly off the net, just lips right up and over, and then falls down out of bounds. Point going back in. Now we got Halashava on the serve.
Her serve played by, that time, Martin. Palm to send it over, but dug out by the Cougars, and then Argentina tries to knock it over herself, but right back to the Cougar side, and a point for Cal State Bakersfield.
For Todi Matoyer there with the block, and now coming in for Sarah Martin is Chankumi.
Big point there for the Roadrunners as the Cougars have scored 3 in a row and were threatening to run away and hide here in the 4th set. And now we'll see if the runners can answer back with the run of their own. That one off the net, pancaked up by Janssen at the net, but then put away. And it's put away by Bertodi Matoyer, and another point for Cal State Bakersfield.
She gets a second, not a kill, not 2 kills in a row, but a block backed up with a kill there. And now we look like we might have a little bit of an injury, but everybody looks like they're doing just fine, and so we're going to keep on rolling.
Yeah, it looks like just trying to kind of gut her way through a tweak is Carly Basham out there. She's a gamer, though, and is ready to go as the next serve is on the way. That'll be played by Norval. Set to the right, and up the line will go Jasmine Martin for another kill. So again, the attack has been spread out tonight for Washington State. You've got the 12 from Janssen, Katie Ryan with 9 kills, now Martin with 9, and Timmer and Halashava with 8 apiece. Here's the next serve. To the outside for Chankumi, but blocked back by the Cougars. One more time, and another block back by the Cougars, but good cover by Cal State Bakersfield, and across it comes. Now Janssen trying to tool it off a defender, and she will. Off the Cal State Bakersfield defender and out of bounds, and a 13th kill for Laura Janssen.
Gets another tip right there to able to get that one to fall, and now Argentina Ung back to the service line to try and extend this 7-point lead.
So again, Lara continues her great day and weekend here in Pullman, but there's a powerful swing on the other side of things for Cal State Bakersfield, and they will get the point this time around, and that time it will go to Sophia Bertotti-Metoyer, and she will get the point for Cal State Bakersfield.
And she's starting to have herself a nice fourth set here as she's contributed 3 of these last 4 points for the Roadrunners.
Back set for Jasmine Martin, crawls along the net and ends up out of bounds, so another point to the Runners as they try and stay in this fourth set. It's right now Washington State by 5, 14-9. Palm trying to keep a run going for the Roadrunners. Set this time to the middle for Katie Ryan, and she will pick up another kill. That is now 3 straight matches for both Janssen and Ryan to double digits in kills. Ryan with her 10th kill.
Yeah, mentioned it earlier, both of them a great game earlier versus Belmont, 13 kills. And now they're both into double digits again, like you just mentioned. Janssen still leading all players here with 13, and then Katie Ryan tied with Ava Palm of the Roadrunners with 10.
Substitution for the Cougs, Logan Golden into the contest, but she ends up with a service error, and the point goes to Cal State Bakersfield. Certainly, when you serve as tough as Washington State, you can live with some service errors, but you brought it up, that 14 is just too high no matter what your service game is.
Yeah, only 6 aces to go with that. You'd want to see that ace count in the double digits if you're going to have that high of an error total.
Kia Temmer cross court, also a net violation whistled against the Roadrunners. Point to Washington State. It's now 16-10.
Nice bounce back there after Golden unable to get that one across the net. Pia Timmer able to pick up the slack right there. Cougs still with the 6-point lead.
Now Carly Basham at the service line. To the outside for Bender. That one will miss. Tried to go at a sharp angle, but that one a little too wide. Another point to Washington State.
Yeah, she just ran out of court there. It was a really good spot, but just a couple feet out. Could have made that one a little bit less steep of an angle, like you were saying. Maybe found the hardwood.
So 17-10, Washington State. Palm plays that Basham serve. Chankumi goes up. Punched across the net by Timmer. A dump attempt. Golden comes up to play it. Sent back across by Basham. Now the right side for Chankumi, and she will get the kill.
Yeah, not the tallest player is Chankumi, only 5'11" and coming in as an outside hitter, but a great vertical and probably the hardest swing that I've seen out of any player, and she's just able to rip that one through and get that one to fall on the Coug side of the net.
Just a kid, a freshman here for Cal State Bakersfield, as she's seeing some extended action in the second half of this match. That one a little bit long on the serve from Ryan, so a service error Cal State Bakersfield's way, and Julia Norval back into the service line for Washington State. 18-11, Washington State by 7. Trying to finish this one off in 4. The senior serve. Calvin plays it. Now it'll be Bender to try and tip it over, but can't get to it as she was running out of room going up to the net. And a timeout taken by Cal State Bakersfield. They will use their second as we'll keep things here in Bowler. And again, for Washington State, opening up an 8-point lead. Still some time left in this set here for the Roadrunners, but looking like this gap might be a little too much to ask, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, like you're saying, not insurmountable, but definitely going to be a tall order here for the Roadrunners. Going to have to find something on the offensive end, and I think that might be to just keep on feeding that ball to Naomi Chankumi. She just, every time she's come in, there was one point where she got blocked twice in the same point, but other than that, pretty much everything she's been hitting has been falling on the other side.
Cougs have responded after that third set loss, and their attacking percentage way up in the set here in the fourth. As a matter of fact, the Cougars now hitting .688 in the set as they have got 13 kills and only 2 attacking errors in these sets.
Yeah, not a lot of things that you're seeing from the Cougs that are going wrong. Just once again, a couple errors on the service line and just a couple miscues. But other than that, they've pretty much everything they've been hitting, like you said, .688. Just really impressive for them there. Most of the things that they're hitting are finding the bottom.
They've upped their hitting percentage to .333 for the match. Cal State Bakersfield just a little below 100. The Runners have used their second and final timeout of the set. The Cougars again have opened up an 8-point lead at 19-11. So again, an 8-point margin for Washington State. And here comes the serve over. Set to the outside, and the tip over. Now it's Timmer, but that one blocked back. Now Timmer again, there to play it is Martin. Set to the right, and a net violation on Washington State.
It's a good point there by Bakersfield right out of the timeout. Exactly what they needed. Try and stop the bleeding. Going to see if they can go on a little run here and make things interesting here in the fourth set.
Yeah, again, 19-12 now, so the Cougars 6 away from 25, and Cal State Bakersfield still 7 away from the Cougars, so they have to pretty much double them up the rest of the way to the Runners. Timmer to send it over, dug out by the Roadrunners. There's a shove across by Palm, and then after the dig, nobody home for the second touch, and back-to-back points for Cal State Bakersfield, and that's what they're going to have to do to try and stay in this match, and that is score off their own serve.
Yeah, they're going to have to score any way that they can, and they'll take the freebies like that whenever they can find them.
So that'll keep Bender at the service line. Next serve, bounces off the net and crosses. Golden plays it. Timmer with the tip over. Set comes to the right, and a kill this time for Makanova, and it'll be another point for Cal State Bakersfield, and that's now 3 in a row for the Roadrunners.
And Makanova picking up her 5th kill. Relatively quiet night for her as she was putting in some big numbers earlier today in their first game against Cal Baptist. But once again, a little 3-point run, like you're saying. Bakersfield starting to close in on the Cougs.
Basham to play the serve, Timmer next, and then Norville to hit it over. Now Palm blocked back, and that one is going to be a point for Washington State off the block as they will pick up block number 12 on the night as a team. And with that block there, Magda Halashava moves another spot up on the all-time blocking list, and she now moves past Jocelyn Urias and now into a tie for 5th all-time with Marcelina Glab when it comes to block assists in Cougar history. Meanwhile, they bring out the towel after the players were diving after the loose ball to mop things up out there. But when all is said and done, the Cougars have a couple of All-Americans in Pia Timmer and Magda Halashava who are going to put their imprint on the record books before things are done this season. Good serve by Timmer. That one hit over but wide. No touch by Washington State. And the point to the Cougars to make it 21-14.
Yeah, saw Timmer and also Halashava both on the preseason All Pac-12 team. Didn't know if they also had some All-American honors to go along with that.
Well, there is going to be a challenge here from Coach Mello for the Runners. She is going to challenge that the Cougars did touch that one before it made its way out of bounds. So we will once again head to the video monitor. But again, just to kind of back up what we said about Magda, again, for her today, as you look at her numbers on the day, total of what's been 6 blocks for her. And looking at her total with what's been 5 block assists, that again continues to move her up on that all-time list, as she's currently in the top 10 and right there with Jocelyn Urias when it comes to the all-time list for Washington State.
Just slightly above that hitting percentage as well. Like you're saying, such a defensive presence, but can get it done on the offensive side as well. Got 8 kills to add to the 38 she had coming into tonight, and just the season average of 361, and tonight she's hitting 389, so just above it, but pretty much right on the mark for herself all season, as the Cougs do win that challenge, and they will be awarded that point.
So 21-14, Washington State with the lead. Again, block assists is where Magda continues to move up the Cougar charts. Meanwhile, here comes the serve upcoming here from Pia Timmer. Across the net, but wide, and that'll be an ace for Pia Timmer. So 22-14, Washington State.
Gonna need a stop right here if you're CSU Bakersfield. Just got a couple points left, margin of error before it's really gonna be do or die.
Serve from Timmer, taking Cal State Bakersfield into scramble mode. A free ball for Washington State. It'll be Magda with the tip. Now an attack from the Roadrunners. Cougars pick it up, and they'll set up Magda Halashava for a kill in the back right corner.
Perfect spot there off a great set from Moon. And Halashava able to capitalize, gets it right by the blockers. Nobody home there in the back right corner.
So after Cal State Bakersfield close to within 5, a 4-0 Cougar run, and it's 23-14. Another good serve, an overpass, and Magda trying to put it away again. Can't, it's at the net, and Argentina Ung to put it away for Washington State, and that will now bring up match point for the Cougars.
Ung picking up her 4th kill on the night. Just something so nice to have from a setter who's just not primarily just throwing the ball up and getting assists, able to go up and do it herself as well.
So Pia Timmer at the service line for Washington State. Her serve is over. The runners need this one to keep things going, and they will get it as that's off a Cougar and out of bounds. But again, the Cougars working with a lot of real estate here, still up 24-15 as the serve goes back over to Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah, do or die here for the Roadrunners. Got to do everything perfect to stay alive.
Here comes the set to the outside, and Janssen will find the back line, and that will do it for Washington State as Janssen continues her excellent play this weekend and will finish off the match with her 14th kill, and Washington State will get it done in 4 sets tonight as they end up with the victory in 4, winning the first set 25-19, the second set 25-13. Give credit to the Roadrunners coming back and taking that 3rd set, but then the Cougars grabbing momentum back to finish off the match and win this one in 4 today.
Yeah, absolutely. Really impressive there from the Cougs. You got to give it to the Bakersfield. They're not rolling over and just going away in 3, though. Able to come out and win that 3rd set 25-21, but the Cougs kind of using that a little bit for some vengeance and coming out and getting their 2nd largest margin of victory for the whole game there in that final set with a 10-point margin of victory.
So with the win, Washington State will sweep their 3 opponents here at the Cougar Challenge, beating California Baptist in 3. They took down Belmont in 4 earlier this afternoon, and now beat Cal State Bakersfield in 4 here tonight. They improved to 5-1 on the season. Cal State Bakersfield drops to 1-4. Cougars celebrating with the fight song, and that's something they want to do all season long here, and that's establish home dominance inside this building.
Yeah, absolutely not going to have another chance to do that for over a month until they host Oregon pretty well into that Pac-12 schedule, but feels good to come home after that loss against BYU and pick up 3 wins in front of the home fans.
Laura Janssen leading the way with 14 kills. The Cougars get it done in 4 and go a perfect 3-0 at the Cougar Challenge. We thank you so much for joining us from Bowler Gymnasium in Pullman on the campus of Washington State. The Cougars again in 4 over Cal State Bakersfield, and this has been Cougar Volleyball on Pac-12 Insider.